Buddy, it is me, Maris, and it is Friday, Black Friday, if you're a shopper kind of person. But it's Friday, so it's the end of that work week, metaphorically speaking. I'm in an uber groovy mood, so I hope you're in an uber groovy mood. But let's use a little bit of this red sage. Thank you, Matthew, for leaving it here. You're a groovy kind of guy. Could have snagged it and taken it back with him when he left, but he didn't. He left it. And so this is called red sage, and it is the sacred sage, and it's been dipped or rolled or whatever in dragon's blood. Good morning. What time of day is it in Pakistan right now? What time of day is it? And so I'm always curious to know. And so the sage enhances that vibration. So if you're in a bad mood, you don't want to use the dragon's blood. I'm sorry, dragon's blood. You don't want to use the dragon's blood when you're in a bad mood because it enhances or makes it worse, exacerbates that bad mood. So one of the smudging routines that I kind of give a thumbs up to is beginning it with a green sage or the sacred sage. Middle part is using some Palo Santo, and it's not a new pretty. It's 8:30 in the evening. Very cool. I know that this is when you're looking at it and you're like, Maris, it's been burnt. And I'm like, I know, I use it. So the Palo Santo in the middle, and at the end, when you go to close that smudging, I use the red sage, or I'm using the red sage now, in order to enhance that grooviness that you clear out the minutia, you clear out the junk, you disconnect from that negative vibration, and you connect in with positivity, grounding, balance, whatever, you use whatever smudge that's going to be appropriate for that. And then you are going to close it with the red sage, which again is sacred sage dipped, rolled, whatever, in dragon's blood. It has a really soft scent compared to this. You can really smell the sage with, but when it's been rolled in the dragon's blood, it's a lot softer. So here's your smudging. Everybody needs to get smudged. There we go. There we go. All right, so there's your smudging. And I had my smudging, so we're smudged, and that means that we're ready to do a reading. Today I'm using they're called the spell casting cards by Flavia Kate Peters, and then Barbara Meiklejohn Free. They're interesting. I'm not. I like to play with different cards depending on what my mood is. And I was going to say, cards are just a medium. I'm a Carl Jung follower, I guess you would say that. I adhere to the Carl Jung principle that everybody is intuitive, that all of us have the gift of being an empath. It's just that sometimes you have to be open to it, and then the other aspect is a lot of times maybe you need a picture to jog that memory or open up that flow of energy or thought process. And so that is what the reason of the pictures or cards are for. It's just to open up that process. So again, we are using the spellcasting oracle cards. Again, those are by Flavia Kate Peters. Okay, and these are just like not talking. Okay, there we go. We had to open up that conversation. Okay, all right. So I've got a whole bunch of cards. Don't go away. I will be right back. Just going down here. Okay. And so we've actually have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 cards today. So you probably want to go and snag your cup of coffee or your drink or Maybe even a little snack because this might take a couple of minutes. 7 cards today. I thought she was being kind of standoffish, and it looks like it just kind of like, woo, went flying out of the deck. So let's take a look at the very first card. And this is the energy that's coming in. The energy that is coming in. What's that energetic, that vibrational flow that's coming in? And we're going to be focusing on our home. We're focusing on our home. Now, anywhere we hang our hat can be our home. So this is looking at more of our internal self as well when we're looking at it. Anywhere we hang our hat can be our home. But when we're looking at this, we're talking about our home, our personal sacred space. And that can be, that can also be that mind, that body, and that spirit. Okay, so what's the obstacle in this? And I'm getting like tons of unrest when I look at this. Let's see if I can get that little more. Goodness. It's like, they're really kind of chatty. What we're looking at here is we're looking at some crazy looking feelings of ourselves, where our environment, what we're looking at, a lot of unrest within our home. And remember, anywhere we hang our hat is our home. And this is also talking about our internal self. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of that and just post them on here. I think that, yeah, that works out much better. Thank you. Thanks for bearing with me on that. So again, we started out with the home card where we're looking at our home, and that can be our physical home, that can be our emotional home, that sacred space. And what we're looking at is there's some unrest, displeasure within that area. So it's like maybe everything isn't so kosher. If the house part is great, then it's within you that you're having that unrest. So we've got some unrest going on. I'm kind of laughing because I'm not laughing at, but laughing with. And it's sometimes that we are in our personal space and we look around and we don't like what's going on in our personal space. And so you have to kind of take the moment to look at what is going on in your personal space and what are you going to do in order to change that or modify that vibration. So that's part of that challenge is, you have been kind of placating, going along, being in a comfort zone, even though you're not happy in that comfort zone. And so then the big message here is, okay, it's time for you to get up and start doing something about the unrest in your comfort zone. Okay, and so please don't take this in a yucky way. Well, maybe you can. This next card is really kind of uncomfortable for many of us, because what we're looking at in here, because this is like, what's your assistance, what's your help? And we're getting a pretty blatant message. So hold on, hang on. You got a lot of fair weather friends. There's a lot of people that tell you to your face how much they love you and how much they care about you. But behind your back or away from you, you have little or no value or attachment to. So it's only in that face-to-face encounter is there a feigned sense of alliance. In this, it's not that you're your own worst enemy or anything to the effect. I'm getting the phrase, a fair weather friend. People love to ride on a coattail when you're flying high, but when you are in a crossroads or you're having what I'm going to call issues in life, they tend to look away from that and discard you to the side. So it's like to your face, they're saying one thing, but away from you, it's a totally different issue, a totally different story. These are kind of brutal. All right. And so you have the option here on how you're going to accept the big changes in your home, as you know, your home, your sacred space, your personal space, as you move on. You are going to be in charge of that. So a part of this lesson is that as you clear yourself of particular energies or particular vibrations, particular relationships, maybe attachments that really aren't good for you, you're going to realize that it's going to be kind of like a brutal parting in many ways, and that you're going to feel a little bit of discomfort with that. But it's really up to you. The ball is in your corner on how you're going to weather through that. You cannot hold on to other people's negative vibration or other people's negative vibration, negative attachments, and expect to be floating or even moving forward at any point, because that negative vibration is what's holding you back. The unfortunate part of it is that you're going to realize that some of those relationships, friendships, places, events, whatever, that you once valued as being very important to you have actually devalued over time and over experience, is what I'm getting through. And that it is going to be up to you to walk away from that. And I'm going to say it kind of like this. If you're trying to be on a positive vibration, raise your vibration, be doing good things, becoming progressive and moving forward, obtaining like financial abundance, emotional stability, that you're in a good place, your business is prospering, your house is doing great, good things coming your way. When you continue to connect in with negative vibrations, and negative vibrations can either be by experience, they can be by people, they can be by where you are, like your workplace, your home, any of that. And when you continue to connect in with that, then that negative vibration pulls down or tugs down your positive groove that's going on. So the important part here is about detaching from that negative vibration so that you can continue to grow and be who you're going to be in this world. Okay? All right, so let's look at the next card, because this has been kind of brutal. It's like this rude awakening. Oh, sometimes I don't like rude awakenings. I'll be real honest. Commitment. Okay, so some of the, this is really just coming in about relationships kind of falling apart. Guys, I'm not trying to bring in bad tidings by any means, but we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. A lot of truths. I'm getting like this volcano that's rumbling, and you can see the smoke coming up. Like earthquakes. I can feel the rumbling in the ground and seeing. So it's like a weekend. A weekend of rude awakenings. That is what I'm picking up on here. Chance always favors a prepared mind. So if you know that there's a lot of awkward, uncomfortable vibration that's coming through, you can actually do groovy things in order to prepare yourself so that when that force comes through, boom, that you aren't hit so hard or even hit at all. So let's kind of like focus on what's coming through, and then how are we going to resolve that, or how are we going to prepare for that? Okay, so again, rude awakenings coming through. fallouts. Not all of them are negative. Sometimes we can have a agree to disagree and move on. We can also have, and I'm getting this thought, is each person on its own, on their own, each person in their own place is a groovy person and a good person. But sometimes two groovy people come together and they don't do such groovy good things. And often we need to step back and examine if our relationship or relationships of those two people together is really worth the negative vibration. Okay. All right. So we know we're going through just a lot of stuff, a lot of very awkward, uncomfortable energy where things break up, break away, break off, a lot of break through there. And I'm getting BREAK, not as that one between like a break at work. We don't know. We're talking like break as in breaking apart. The beautiful part of going through some of this ugliness is the beauty that we find afterwards. So it's like after the dust is settled, after a tornado or after a hurricane or whatever, and the sun starts to shine through and you see a rainbow. That's that vibration that we're getting here, is that after this horrific storm of bleh within our personal space, that we're actually going to wake up, and I'm like, oh, so Monday morning comes up and we wake up and we're like, a very cathartic release, some peace, some joy, discovery, realizing that we're not so weak like we thought maybe, or in some instances we're going to also discover that we are a lot more empathic and sensitive than what we had realized. Okay. Oh, okay. And so then the last card that we're looking at, so that final vibration, that final part of what in the world is really going on, or what's that energy that comes through, is looking at the animals. And I love animals. Animals are very instinctual. They have a lot of unconditional self to them. Animals are very, very unconditional through there. And then when we start connecting in with that unconditional love and that unconditional relationship, we start to see that they have a lot of loyalty, especially like our pets or our animal companions, and that we can connect in with that level of unconditional love and be the better person that we've agreed to be. Right, and so I'm just going to kind of give you a couple of little instances. Think about all those times, and you can look up these different videos up on YouTube, and they'll talk about, somebody that will, a man had helped a hummingbird escape like some kind of, was caught in a tree or caught in something, and this man helped the hummingbird get out. And then he realized that the hummingbird was coming back every day. And then every day that it came back, that bird came back, it would bring more hummingbirds. And so they were honoring and respecting. So that hummingbird was showing gratitude towards that man for saving his life. And we have the same thing with dogs and cats and squirrels and birds. And, people will have little things where they'll save a baby bird. And then that baby bird is, like a little robin is raised up around them. And it's actually just a total action and a total connection and exchange of unconditional behavior. And that's what this reading kind of will lead us to, is that we've been holding ourselves in our home. We've been holding ourselves with lots and lots of conditions and commitments that really aren't the commitments that are nurturing and nourishing for us, body, mind, and spirit. So this weekend is going to be like this volcano eruption, a volcanic eruption. And I'm not looking at like Mount St. Helena's or something to that effect. It's an eruption of some energy, an eruption of emotions, an eruption and a breakup of all of the things that would hold us back in misery, or hold us back in confinement, hold us back in unhappiness, and hold us back. And so as we allow these things to come to surface and erupt, and we break away from them, that we can find our true essence of who we are working towards being, and allowing that to develop and grow and be a part of that connection with the world around us. I mean, that's what animals do. They help us to connect and ground. So I hope you enjoyed this weekend's reading. Peace, love, and harmony. I hope to see you very soon.